coins, you gotta grow your coins.
Grow your coins, grow your coins.
Grow your coins, grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins.
Grow your coins, grow your coins.
Grow your coins, grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins.
Grow your coins, grow your coins.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow. Welcome. I figured today I'm going to do something different that I haven't done in a while. I figured I'd go live and just kind of hang out and go over a bunch of different stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on and there's a lot of newsworthy information in the crypto world. So I figured, why not? It's early. It's super early. It's 9:50 a.m. So chances are most of you aren't even awake yet because I used to go live a lot in the late evening. So what's going on? Destroyer, welcome. So the first thing I want to touch on, obviously, is the Crow tokens doing well. I will say that I'm a little under the weather. My throat has just been sore and just not good. I've not been feeling 100%. We did fireworks last night out in the driveway, and we kind of had a back and forth with the neighbors. They'd set off some stuff, we'd set off some stuff, and we kind of went back and forth, and it was a good time. We had fun. My wife had a blast because she went out and picked all kinds of crazy fireworks, and it was a good time. Man, my throat hurts so bad. So anyway, yeah, Crow tokens are doing well. They've been dipping a bit the last couple days. Just some of the people that bought in and they kind of rode the price up, and some of them have been selling off, and then I can see them buying in again. It's like people are just trying to trade the Crow tokens, and it's crazy. I will say that I do have a really cool project that I'm trying to find out if I can make happen. I know I can make it happen. I want to make it happen in the way I want to make it happen, if that makes sense. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get everybody all hyped up about it. If something were to fall through, but a lot of stuff going on with that. And basically just know that anything that I do moving forward, I have every intention of basically using Crow tokens as some form of utility. I would like to use Crow tokens as a form of utility on SO blocks to maybe generate, like if you're holding so many, maybe it gets you a discount and advertising on SO blocks, and I don't know, just different stuff. The Crow tokens are going to be a long-term kind of thing. Like when I say this is like my legacy token, I mean, like for as long as I'm in crypto, I plan on using them for whatever I can while I'm working on different projects, whether it's games or the social platforms or whatever. So yeah, it'll be fun, but it'll take some time. I've been buying in the Crow token too fun not to. Yeah, I mean it's just cool. I dig it. I dig everybody's support. The murder of crows are obviously just continuing to go. I know that I'm pretty sure that Tango Crypto, which is basically the group that I've been using for minting, these links are going to change because apparently they've been really struggling. There's just not a lot of volume for them to justify. I think basically, like if we were in a bull market, Tango Crypto would probably be fine because they're doing volume, but I think the value of the volume that they're getting in terms of transaction fees on the NFTs that they're minting directly, it doesn't justify their server expenses and all the expenses associated with running and maintaining their platform. So I guess they're switching things up. And at first I thought, well, wow, so Murder of Crows is going to stop minting soon because, and we're not going to be able to finish out. I think we're basically like halfway through the total 10,000. And he said, no, we're just going to switch it and your links will have to change. And I'm like, okay, so we'll see. I don't know 100% what's happening. But I did add like 11 extremely like one of one unique NFTs to this. They don't look like this. They're not these cartoons. But they're really, really cool. I haven't seen anybody mint them yet, so I don't know. We'll see how long it takes for people to start minting those out. And if I'm looking at the Crow tokens chart, obviously we got some dippage recently. It was this huge spike. It's like the chart is actually starting to man, it hurts to swallow. So we got a huge spike at launch and we came down and it's come up. It's just been very ebb and flowish, but it's been a slightly downward pattern. But what I also know is, if I look at the Telegram group and I look at what's going on in there are so many people that are like accumulating slowly and just kind of having fun with it. And everybody knows it's a shit coin. Like everybody knows it's a meme token. Like nobody expects this thing to like rise up like ADA or Bitcoin or anything like that. That'd be crazy. But I do think that there are a lot of people that really do support what I do on this channel, and they're showing their support by accumulating Crow tokens. And I really appreciate that. I think it's a really cool thing to see. And I'm farming it. I'm staking it. I'm doing all kinds of stuff for the first time in DeFi. Like I've never farmed anything. Like I'm farming the Wi-Fi tokens by like staking my Crow tokens and adding liquidity. So yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff. So let's take a look at what's going on in the world. Vodafone Germany explains why it is using Cardano for its NFT venture. Now, before we dive too deep, let's take a look at what Vodafone Germany is. It's not a small company. 16,000 employees, 11.6 billion euros generated in 2022 as revenue. Okay, so this is a major company. And they're basically going to be using Cardano for their NFT stuff. So Vodafone Germany is a mobile telecommunications operator in Germany. It provides mobile phone, LTE, 5G, cable internet, landlines, cable TV, and IPTV services. As of the third quarter of 2021, Vodafone Germany has more than 31 million mobile customers in Germany, making it the third largest provider of mobile phone services. Okay, just to put that into perspective for you, this is a pretty big deal. Vodafone Germany has revealed plans to release an NFT collection on the Cardano blockchain. This news was shared by Patrick Tobler, the founder and CEO of NMKR, a leading NFT creation, minting, and trading infrastructure provider on the Cardano blockchain. Tobler shared the announcement made by Vodafone Germany employee Luca on the company's Discord server. Vodafone Germany has chosen the Cardano blockchain for its NFT project due to its strong community, sustainability, and cross-chain possibilities. The company is still in its early stages of this project, and those already involved are considered super early supporters. I'm going to check this out just because, I mean, why not? It's a huge company. So if they're building on Cardano and they're basically building this stuff, well, let's take a look at some of these. When will the NFTs be minted? The company is still determining the utility to attach to the NFTs. Given the size of Vodafone, decisions like these involve many departments and take time to finalize. Will there be any special roles for early joiners? Vodafone Germany does not plan on giving out roles for early joiners. However, they do plan to reward their first 1,000 Discord members. All right. Will there be a whitelist? The company wants the project to be as inclusive as possible, so there will be no whitelist. What utility? I used to think whitelists were some form of compliance or whatever, and it's not. It's just basically a way for people to feel special getting into a project early. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What utility will the NFTs provide? The company's still finalizing that. So, very good news for Cardano. A big win on Cardano's part as, major companies all over the place are basically getting involved in building applications for it. So I'm excited about that. And then I saw this. ADA still has a future despite current FUD, according to analyst. Published 30 minutes ago, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? This kind of stuff is kind of silly to me, but Tom from Crypto Busy attributed ADA's negative price movement to high levels of FUD. What FUD has Tom been seeing? I haven't been seeing much FUD. I'm just seeing the typical market fluctuation. In this channel's latest analysis, Tom predicted that it may take a few years for ADA to rise back above $3. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, who is this? I need to look at Crypto Busy. Like, what's up, man? I need to find out who you are. At press time, ADA was trading at 29 cents after it printed a 99 or a 0.99% loss over the past 24 hours. So, okay. Crypto Busy predicted it could climb to, okay, so all right, I get it. He's saying it could climb back to $3 again, but it might take a few years. All right, so I think that's a little nonsensical, but we're going to take a look at the chart because I just think that's silly. All right, so here's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at Cardano on a weekly chart. All right, now I drew this range out a little while ago, and we've been kind of hanging out within it. Basically, at highs of around 47 cents and lows around 23 cents, and we're currently trading at around the 30-cent mark, I guess. 28 cents. Now, if we go all the way back to, so if we look here, basically back in 2020. All right, March 23rd of 2020, we got a low of like 0.016 cents. We went from 0.016 cents all the way up to $3. It was about $3.14, and we did it in 539 days. Okay, so less than 2 years. It went up 19,208%. And this was before half of the utility functionality and milestones were met in its development cycle. We didn't have staking. We didn't have smart contracts, or maybe we had staking, but we didn't have smart contracts. I can't remember. It's still early. We didn't have a lot. All right. And it wasn't until really right after the market peaked in this last cycle that Cardano really started launching a lot of the stuff that was in development at the time. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking we went up almost 20,000% in less than 2 years. And he thinks that it'll take a few years to get back to $3. And I'm thinking that's just nuts. So let's take a look. What would it take for it to get back to, like what kind of percentage growth would we be looking at if we were to go back from where we're at to $3? All right. So $3, let's just say all-time high, $3.14, we'll say $3.18. So we went 19,208% in less than 2 years. And we just to get back to the original all-time high from where it is currently is 990%. That's it. Now, if we were to take the laws of Bitcoin and we were to say, okay, well, basically every cycle, the price goes much higher than its previous cycle in Bitcoin, but there are diminishing returns. And I can't remember what I calculated that out to, but it's been pretty consistent. I think it's like a third less than the previous cycle in terms of percentage growth, right? So even if, now I've done a bunch of different calculations, and I've price predictions are funny, right? Because it's likely that price predictions are likely going to happen, just probably not within the time frame that we expect them to because of the nature of the market. But, if we take that into a third, we could just say, let's say it went up 15,000. Let's just say it went up 10,000%. All right. Just for giggles, 10,000% is astronomical, but 10,000%, and my Instagram's going. 10,000% is just, it's crazy. There's no way it's getting here. All right. There's no way it's getting here. But 10,000% from where it's at right now means that Cardano would be trading at around $30. That's not happening. Okay. Don't get it twisted. It's not happening. But that's with a diminishing return. And here's the thing. You know why Cardano trades the way it does? Do you know why the price doesn't move as quickly as others, like Bitcoin or like a lot of the stuff? It's because there's so many of them. A big part of it is because there's so many of them. And the other part of it is people don't trade Cardano because of its pump and dump potential. People either buy Cardano because they believe in its fundamentals and they believe in it as a blockchain, as a superior layer one. They buy it, they hold it, and then they stake it. That's the buyer of Cardano. Cardano buyers are, from what I see, are typically more, they're more community involved. They have a lot of faith. They do a lot of research. And ultimately, they're not trading it on pumps and dumps. That's just not what Cardano is for. You want to trade pumps and dumps, you either trade a meme coin like people are doing with the Crow tokens, or you trade something with a much lower supply that moves and reacts to news in the world around us faster, right? So that you're able to trade those. And a lot of people will bot trade a lot of pump and dump tokens and things. Cardano is not that. Cardano is not a quick mover. Cardano is more of a momentum mover. It's more of a macro swing trading type of cryptocurrency, okay? Built on fundamentals. All right. So when we're looking at what's happening in the crypto market, we don't compare Cardano with much else because it is definitely in a league of its own, and it moves. Bitcoin will move up first. Ethereum will move up, typically around the same time or a little bit after Bitcoin. And then everything flows into the altcoins. And because Cardano is a slower mover, it's not the in and out. It's not used as a gateway, right? It's not used as, people that buy it are buying it to hold it. They're not because you can stake it and generate more. So we're seeing more people evolving into the cryptocurrency space who are basically getting into Cardano, and then they're staking it patiently, waiting for whatever the future holds. So I really do believe that 2025 is going to be astronomical for Cardano. I really do. And I don't, there are a lot of other projects out there, and I've thought about, maybe doing some more deep dives and things like that with some of these other projects, but I don't know. Anytime I spend away from Cardano, I feel like I'm in some ways betraying myself and betraying the community. I know it sounds crazy. Maybe that's a form of tribalism. It's just, I've been in this space since 2017. I've seen everything out there, and I've seen all of the gimmicks. I've seen all of the cash grabs. I've seen how a lot of these companies work, where they basically start up on some pipe dream, and then they go out and they get a little bit of venture capital to pay a bunch of YouTubers to, pump some shit coin. And we don't know any better because we're just thinking, it's just another company trying to build in the blockchain space. And we're going at it with this mentality that, there's room for everyone to grow and there's room for everyone to do well. And then, we start pumping this stuff and we talk about it because it looks good on paper. And then, they can't continue because they're not getting enough adoption. They're not making enough money. They can't continue to keep the hype train going. And then it ultimately starts to dwindle and fall and fail until it goes by the wayside or completely vanishes off to the next scheme. And I've seen this so many times that I find it very difficult. I'll do paid segments. I have no problem doing paid segments. I have announced and disclosed every paid segment I've ever done, even before it was a thing, before other people started doing it, because they were like, oh, wow, you have to do this. Unless they're in like another country. If they're in the UK or they're in like Switzerland or Germany or wherever, they don't have to disclose because there are no laws for it, which is why I don't trust the majority of them, if I'm honest. Because I know who some of these people are, and they're pumping all kinds of garbage on people, and they're making a major buck doing it, and they're not disclosing it. And it's just like, there are so many scammy, shammy bullshit artists in this space, and it's like, Cardano is the only one to me that I've been paying close attention to that has proven itself time and time and time again. And I don't care what anybody thinks about Charles. I have my own opinion. My opinion of Charles goes up and down with the weather, to be honest. I'm like kind of a manic, He's a brilliant guy, and he's doing amazing things. As I'm sure he's some sort of genius. He's 33 years old. He's accomplished amazing feats, and you know what? That doesn't always come with the most positive personality traits. Okay, I mean, that's just the nature of things. And so when I look at what he does, and I know that he's supposedly like the face of Cardano, but he's not. The face of Cardano is its logo. That is the face of Cardano, because there's going to be a day when Cardano is running And there will be no Charles. Charles won't be a part of it anymore. It will be the consensus algorithms associated with the people making votes on what they want Cardano to do and how they want it to behave and how they want to see it move forward. That's what it's about. The face of Cardano is the logo itself. It's not Charles Hoskinson. He's the brain behind it. It's almost like, is the face of Apple Steve Jobs? No, it's not. The face of Apple is the logo. It's the Apple logo. That is the face. That logo is the face of any company. So, we can attribute its growth, its development, or its existence to the founder, but the face is the logo itself. And ultimately, that logo represents everything that company does. Okay. And so that's the way I look at it. It's not about Charles for me. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about what is the growth of the blockchain? How is it being built? There isn't a blockchain project out there that ultimately I trust to take significant risk. Okay. I mean, everybody knows I started averaging back into Cardano at 50 cents. And does it suck that I could probably have double what I have right now if I would have waited a little longer? Sure. But the reality is I was itching. I felt it was really difficult for me too to be motivated to do content on YouTube about a blockchain I didn't hold any on. I didn't have any. It didn't feel right to me. And that's probably another reason why I don't do a lot of content about other blockchains, because if I don't hold it myself, why am I going to tell you about it? It's like, because I'm not educating myself on it. I'm not, if I don't hold it myself, I'm probably not following the news. I'm not following what's going on with it. Right. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of rambling, but hey, that's what lives are for, isn't it? Just me, just vomiting thought all over the place. So anyway, bankrupt Prime Trust blocked from accessing $45 million worth of digital assets. That's a big deal. So for those of you that don't know, Prime Trust is a company that was a nationally chartered banking institution, okay? And when I was working on launching my own exchange back in the day, this was before Binance US, Crypto Face, what's going on? I saw him say something and then he disappeared again. I messaged you on Telegram, doofus. You never look at your Telegram anymore. So anyway, so Prime Trust is actually a company no, this is live, dude. This is live. I just rambled like it was a pre-recording without looking at chat for a minute. So anyway, when I was launching my exchange, there are a lot of hurdles you have to jump through, basically, just to be compliant. And, there are banking regulations. It's like, are you a money transmitter? Are you a money service business? Are you, just all kinds of stuff. And one of the ways that you can get around that is by basically having a company like Prime Trust custody funds as a nationally chartered banking institution. And it basically keeps it from you having to go and get a state, I don't remember if it was a money transmitter license or I can't remember what it is now, but you basically have to go and it could cost you like $50,000, $60,000 just to go and apply to get a license in each state you plan on operating, right? But Prime Trust negates all that. They take a little cut, they handle the custody. You're basically operating under their charter so that you don't have to get all those individual state licenses. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked out. I could be wrong, so don't quote me if you're trying to do any of this. You have to talk to your lawyers and everybody involved to be sure. And I don't know how things have changed over the last few years before or after I pulled the plug on the whole project. I'm like, I don't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way I felt about it. And, I don't have a big finance background, and it's like, yes, we could have launched the exchange. Yes, we probably could have done pretty well. I personally didn't like the idea of being responsible for what could have been potentially millions and millions and millions of dollars on a platform, and I didn't trust the developers. I didn't trust the company that we had hired to build it. They were they were garbage. And I never outed them on YouTube, but I just felt like they were scammy bullshit artists. And I just, everything was elongated. Like, every time we do bug fixes and we did some beta testing and we're like, there's this bug, that bug. They keep telling me it was fixed, but it never was. And there'd be more. And it was just terrible. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I didn't like it. But anyway, Prime Trust ended up becoming the solution for Binance.us. And I thought, oh, wow. So my exchange would have been the first to use Prime Trust the way that it's been being used. And I thought, okay, I'm on to something. I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good here. I'm figuring it out. Right. And they were really good to do business with. I mean, they were very helpful and very supportive. And they were filling me in. They were telling me, like, you might want to look at your development team because these guys don't seem to know, like, what they're trying to do here and this and that. And so I trusted Prime Trust because they were helpful, okay? And they were honestly a part of the reason why I pulled the plug on the whole thing, because they were telling me, like, listen, you're going to have some issues. These guys, they're taking 6 weeks to do something that we could have done in like 4 hours. Like, what's happening? And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is garbage. So anyway, Binance.us started using them for their US based, like their US compliant operation. And who else used them? And I'm pretty sure, I don't think it had anything to do with me. I don't think I connected them. I can't remember. But Celsius Network used Prime Trust for a lot of things. And before Celsius imploded and had all their problems, Prime Trust pulled the plug on them. And they just said, we're walking away. They didn't give any explanation. They didn't take a dump on Celsius. They just said, we're not doing business anymore. That's it. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And I didn't know anything else. I mean, that was all. I read the articles like everyone else, and I don't think people were putting two and two together. I didn't really at the time. I just thought, I wonder what would have happened. I wonder what could have happened, because I was a big believer in Celsius. I thought, Alex could do no wrong. Everybody, it all seemed on the up and up. It all seemed great. But yeah, no, obviously there were some problems. So anyway, apparently Prime Trust has gone belly up. They're going bankrupt, and they're not able to access $45 million worth of their digital assets. A legal cryptocurrency wallet associated with Prime Trust has been blocked, and the team cannot access assets worth roughly $45 million. Arkham Intelligence data on June 28 shows. As per the report, most of the assets consist of Ethereum valued at over $44 million at current rates. I think this is funny. The remaining assets are comprised of USDC stablecoin and USD with a small amount of Hex. That to me is just funny. On June 27, Nevada Financial Institutions Division took over Prime Trust and halted operations. It was also reported that the regulator is actively seeking a receiver. Further, records show that Prime Trust is facing liquidity challenges. These are all the kinds of reasons that I just decided to not launch an exchange. There's just too much, man. And this is honestly one of the main reasons why I believe that when all is said and done, we're only going to have like 2 or 3 exchanges. Like, we're probably going to only have 2 or 3 legitimate crypto exchanges that are doing the bulk of the business. And those are likely going to be propped up by major institutions, just like we're starting to see with Coinbase and BlackRock. I mean, when BlackRock touches you, you're on your way to heaven. I mean, if they're going to do business with you. And I think, Coinbase stock, Coinbase everything. I called this before. I basically said when they launched their case against Binance and Coinbase, I'm like, Binance is going to be the bad guy. Coinbase is going to come out ahead looking like the good guys. One way or another, Coinbase is going to be the winners of this whole thing. And sure enough, it wasn't a few days later, BlackRock announces the ETF and how they're going to use Coinbase for their their custody or for whatever it is. And I'm like, exactly. I saw this a mile away the second I saw the news release. So I'm always right sometimes. What time is it? 10:19? I've been rambling a little while already. So anyway, there's some information on there, that it's a sucky situation. Bitcoin price plunges below 30,000 as SEC rejects the first ETF applications. Everybody knows by now that those just because they're basically saying, listen, how are you going to operate with surveillance? Like, what's that going to look like? Who's going to be doing it? Let us know and resubmit. It wasn't a big deal. There are a lot of people trying to use this as clickbait. Like, oh my gosh, it was rejected. No, nothing's rejected. BlackRock, I'm sure, is going to get it. They just had a couple of loops that they needed to change and adjust. CEO of Africa's largest exchange says crypto is freeing Africans. And yeah, it is. I mean, and there's a lot to that, but ultimately I just wanted to show, and this is one of the big reasons why Cardano spent a lot of time working in Africa and World Mobile Token and all that. They're helping to build a lot of the stuff over there. So Ripple debunks 5 common blockchain and cryptocurrency myths. I thought I would show. I really like this. Siamak Maznavi. I mean, this guy always puts out interesting stuff that I'm like, okay, I always gravitate to this guy's content. And he's written about other YouTubers. He's never written about me. I don't think he likes me very much, but whatever. Ripple, a leading player in the cryptocurrency space, recently addressed some common misconceptions about blockchain technology and digital currencies. Ripple says these 5 myths are: crypto is a fad. Obviously, we know that's nonsense. Crypto is risky and volatile. That's not a myth. That's true. Crypto is very risky and very volatile. Crypto is not sustainable. I think quality crypto is sustainable, like Cardano. But when you look, what is sustainable? That's relative to the person saying it, right? Like, what do they expect it to be to qualify as sustainable? I think it's very sustainable. I mean, there are shit coins that have been around since like 2015 or whatever, and they're not going anywhere. So I would say that's pretty sustainable. Crypto solutions are complex and difficult to implement. This, I honestly believe, is true to a certain extent, especially to a layman's, to a newcomer. There's a lot. I mean, even Vitalik Buterin came out and he was just like, yeah, I don't stake my tokens because it's just too difficult for me to feel safe. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's a problem. And then everybody was like, well, so Charles, how, he was like, I stake a little tiny bit of my Ethereum, and I'm sure he does it on a wallet he doesn't care about if something goes wrong. And, he was talking about the exposure of the keys and this and that, and to make the system work. He's like, I just don't really trust it. And everybody's like, so Charles Hoskinson, how much of your ADA do you have staked? And he's like, 100%, 100%. Like, well, of course, why wouldn't you? It's so easy. Click, click, click. You're staked. You're done. You're not even locked into anything. Anyway, crypto lacks global regulatory clarity. Yeah, these are not myths. These are pretty much facts, in my opinion. Contrary to the belief that cryptocurrency is a passing trend, Ripple argues that it has real-world utility across various industries. Major corporations like PayPal, Visa, and Starbucks have already started offering crypto rewards to their customers. Gibbly gobbly, whatever. Yeah, check out Soblocks.com if you don't mind, if you want to get active. Because we're in open beta now, so you don't really have to hold Murder of Crows NFTs to get access or engage the site anymore. You can go in, just start posting. We do have an internal ledger. That's what these blocks are. You can see some of these have lit blocks, some of them don't. Depending on their engagement, what they're posting and things, people are earning block tokens just by engaging the platform. And it's an internal ledger, not currently on the blockchain, but as soon as it does get to the blockchain, once we have more of the main features implemented, then people are just going to be getting block tokens as kind of an airdrop to their wallets, and then they're going to be able to use those for advertising and other things. So this is a slow grow thing as well. I'm doing all of this stuff out of my own pocket. I don't have any venture capital money. I don't have anybody backing me or anything. I'm not doing big crowd things like, if you believe in this, help me fund it. I need $20 million. Like, I'm not doing any of that. I don't have any of that. I don't have any of those contacts. And honestly, I've had people reach out to me and they're like, hey man, if you get me this and this and that, I can probably get you some VCs. And I'm like, I just have no interest in sitting down, putting together promotional decks or investment decks, trying to beg for cash from people that I don't know. And So I'm doing it. If somebody comes and they said, hey, we like what you're building and we want to be a part of it and we'll give you 10 million bucks to build it out and market it all over the world and this is what we want, cool. But I'm not going to go out there hunting it down and trying to suck up to a bunch of people that don't give two shits about me. Total stake it's at 65.9%. So total Cardano staked right now is 22.82 billion ADA. It's down. I mean, but I think even at the peak of the market, it was like 72 or 74%, something along those lines. So, Cardano's doing well. The Crow node, this is the Cardano stake pool. That's been doing pretty well. Where are we at? Epoch 3.39%. Live stake is at 27.7 million ADA. I mean, that's pretty daggone good. That's like half from saturation, isn't it? Lifetime blocks. So my Cardano pool, Crow, has minted 5,505 blocks with a lifetime ROS of 4%. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. And Wi-Fi tokens up to over $1. Wi-Fi tokens been doing pretty good. I will say it's been going up since we launched the Crow tokens. I doubt that has anything to do with it. So anyway, live for 36 minutes. It's not very long, but I got a lot of stuff I got to work on today. So I will check the comments in a little bit. And then, if you like the channel, just subscribe. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys, there's 164 people live right now. Do you guys prefer I just went live every day for like a half hour to an hour, or like, are you guys digging like the short, little 6-7 minute videos that I've been posting up? Because I've got them scheduled out for the week, plus my shorts. But I feel like I need to be going live because I can cover more and share more of my real legitimate thoughts as opposed to trying to limit everything into like under 10 minutes. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. And I will see you guys soon. Crow your coins.